Hello, everybody. My name is Merlin Schweiger, and I'm here with Liz McGlennon from TechFluent. Liz, what's your role at TechFluent?
I'm the executive director.
Great. And my role at TechFluent is to coordinate with employers, partners, and other users of Dynamics. We're here today to tell you a little bit about TechFluent, what we're about. So Liz, could you enlighten us on the vision and mission for TechFluent?
Sure. Yeah. So one of our goals is to help reduce income inequality within our under-resourced communities within the US and bring more diversity into the Microsoft Biz App space. We are providing a mentorship and training program on D365, the Power Platform, and soft skills. And we will be connecting our graduates to jobs within the tech industry.
That sounds pretty good. Do you want to talk a little bit about why?
Yes. Yeah. So all of you watching this are probably in the industry. And so you realize how much demand there are for people with the Dynamics or Power Platform skill set. So Microsoft said there's something like 10,000 open Biz Apps jobs globally last year. And so there's all these open roles and there's not enough people entering into the space. So there's a few reasons why that's happening. One is that there's very few formal outlets to enter into the space. Another reason is that there's barriers to entry, such as job postings still requiring a 4-year degree or a degree in computer science, for example. And so what we want to do is we want to bring these Microsoft Biz Apps roles, these opportunities to individuals in our under-resourced communities. They are eager to get, full-time, well-paying, fully benefited jobs, especially in tech. And we want to work to help remove some of those barriers of entry and give a supportive, informal outlet into our space. And so we're really looking to provide a support network and a community to bridge the gap by providing one-on-one mentorship and a 14-week training program. And then again, introducing our participants to employers and other experienced individuals within the industry so that they have the support they need to get a role and start their career with Microsoft Tech.
It sounds like a pretty valuable system. Let's talk a little bit more about specifically how we're hoping to get there.
Sure. So it's a 14-week training program, full day on Monday and Friday, as well as additional homework that they'll be working on throughout the course of the program. So homework assigned by our trainers, as well as working through the Microsoft Learn content. And then after the 14 weeks of training, we would help them look for and get either a 2-month internship or full-time employment. Again, we'll be covering the Power Platform, D365, and consulting skills. We will also provide the opportunity for them to get 2 Microsoft certifications, covering the cost of those, and that's going to be a requirement in order for them to graduate. We will also pair them with a mentor and provide one-on-one mentorship for the full duration of the program. And our program is completely free. So it is no cost to the participants. Again, we're covering the certification costs. All of our volunteer team is volunteering their time. There's no paid staff. And we have over 30 mentors and over 25 trainers that are volunteering their time to make this program successful. The other thing I want to note is that there's also no cost to our employers that interview or hire our graduates.
Sounds great. Let's look at the full timeline.
So this is the first time we're running the cohort. It launches March 21st. Trainings will run March through June. And then in July is when our participants will be looking for full-time roles or internships. And then graduation will be at the end of August. And in that window between the training and graduation date is when they would be taking their certifications.
Makes sense. The curriculum itself.
Yes. So we're spending half our time on technical topics and the other half of the time on soft skill or consulting skill topics. And so this is just a high level overview of the different types of courses they'll be taking. Some of these are half days, some of these are full days, but they're all interactive. Everything is going to be virtual and live on Teams. And then due to wanting to have a good trainer to learn our ratio, we'll have 2 trainers for all of our courses. So we realize that that's important and we need, the support there to answer questions or jump into a breakout room if someone needs help. So you'll see that we're providing foundational courses. We aren't making any assumptions about their background or their knowledge that they're bringing into the program. So we have a very diverse learner pool. And some people have higher level degrees, others do not. Some have some exposure or professional experience with tech, others do not. And so we have people coming from all sorts of industries, all sorts of backgrounds, countries, different ages. And so we're providing, again, foundational courses on tech, but also foundational courses on kind of those essential skills like communication, providing personal development workshop, mental health workshop, and resources on like time management, organizational skills, and goal setting. And then you'll see we do a deeper dive into all of the tools within the Power Platform, as well as a deep dive on sales and customer service and an overview of Microsoft ERP. And then again, mixing in business examples and use cases so that they have some context and real life knowledge on how businesses and organizations use the platform. At the end of the training in the beginning of June, they're going to go through 2 different projects. So this is going to simulate what they might experience as a consultant, but in a very short kind of condensed format. So being given a use case and then going and building something that meets those requirements or that use case based on what they've learned throughout the trainings and in the program. And so the first week they'll be doing an individual project, and this will give them a chance to design something, build something, and present it back to the team. And then the second week they'll be doing a team project. They'll have to collaborate with peers, and we'll also be building something for that and presenting it back to the team. At the end of June, we have an evaluation period where we collect feedback from the mentors, trainers, and their peers. And that's where we decide which individuals we feel like are ready to move on to the internship or full-time employment phase.
It sounds good. One of the things that I really like about this curriculum is that we're trying as best we can to not make any assumptions about skills that people are coming into the program with, and kind of helping set that foundation so that everybody's starting at a same spot.
Yeah. And I really view all of these as more like they're all introductions to these topics. So it's giving them exposure to all of the main areas within our industry so that then they can decide what they're passionate about or like what type of specialty they want to pursue and what type of role they might be interested in. So I kind of think of these as like your level 100 courses that you might take, your first year of college when you're getting your generals and trying to figure out what you want to do. We're really trying to expose them to a lot of things, and then they can deep dive on other resources, use Microsoft Learn, and go down a particular path if they know what they're passionate about.
Yeah, I like that.
So Merlin, how can people get involved and help support TechFluent?
What a great question. There are a couple different ways that anybody can get involved, and I've broken these out into sort of 2 different areas. One is you're an individual and you want to contribute as an individual. So as Liz mentioned before, we have a large pool of mentors and we have a large pool of trainers. All those individuals are volunteers. So you could certainly add yourself to that list, and you could help support people as a mentor or as a volunteer trainer on a specific topic. And as you saw, some of those topics are technical, some of those topics are not technical. So you may be able to fit in kind of in any of those areas. On the other side, if you are an employer or you run a practice or maybe a whole biz apps department that's managing a Dynamics implementation internally, then where we could really use your assistance is in providing opportunities for our graduates and our learners to plug into your teams. So if you are a Microsoft partner and you might be looking to hire more individuals, expand your team, you've got more work than you have people to do it, then it would be super great if you could provide any internship opportunities sort of during that summer period when we're running our internships in July and August, or if you'd be willing or interested in interviewing folks and potentially hiring them for jobs. We would obviously, that's our end goal, is to try to get people through our training and into jobs. And so if you may have job openings, then we would love for you to reach out and work with us on lining those up as well. And of course, no matter what your role or where you sit in an organization or not, it would be great to get any sort of donations to help us out. Those donations could be monetary, and there's a donation page right on our website. The link will be on the next slide. So you can donate directly on the website. We're also looking for equipment. So again, not trying to make any assumptions about what our learners have available to them. Some of them may need laptops. Some of them may need headsets so that they can listen into the training very well. We're also kind of pushing to get everybody at least one extra monitor. So it's a lot easier for them to do, kind of watch the trainer, what the trainer is doing on one screen while they're working on their own work on the second screen. So any additional laptops or monitors or other hardware that you might want to donate, we would be more than happy to take those off of your hands and put them to good use as well. So to summarize, you can expand your Power Platform Center of Excellence with TechFluent. We would love to partner with you to help with that. Here's our website, so you can learn more about the program and dig more into what we're offering, or do the donation, as I mentioned, at our website, techfluentacademy.org. If you are interested in being a mentor or a trainer, then you can reach out directly to Liz, and her email address is here. It's just liz@techfluentacademy.com. And if you're interested in providing internships or offering potential job opportunities to our graduates, then you can reach out to me. And my email address is just merlin@techfluentacademy.com. And with that, thank you all very, very much for your time. And we will now open the floor for questions.
Just checking, watching the chat now to see if there are any questions. So if any of you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. While we wait to see if questions appear, Liz, I was wondering if maybe you'd be willing to talk a little bit about the cohort that we have put together for the spring, since we've now kind of finalized that.
Yeah, there's some updates since we recorded that video. So we kick off on Monday, so the 21st, and we have 27 confirmed learners. They're from all over the US. They're all BIPOC. We have a lot of Ethiopian immigrants and then just people with other diverse backgrounds. So we're really excited about our cohort. We also have over 25 trainers and 27 mentors helping and volunteering their time. So we're really excited about it, and we're excited that it's starting. We think it's going to be a great group of graduates.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it too. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it, and I feel like I've had a lot of good conversations with other partner organizations about our program and sort of their level of support for it. But I think it's always good to get as many people involved as we can, especially if we want to, scale this to something that's larger than 20 people at a time.
Yeah. We plan to have a cohort twice a year. So we absolutely need continual help and volunteers to make that happen on an ongoing basis.
I still haven't seen any questions appear. There's a couple questions here. Okay, so can internships be provided by organizations that are not Microsoft partners but have certified users on staff? The short answer there is yes, definitely. We are open to internships anywhere where somebody can get hands-on with Power Platform or Dynamics 365. And so I've even had conversations with somebody who they don't really have anyone internally who even knows that much about Dynamics, but they know, like, they have the software and they could use some assistance. And so they're considering having an intern or two just to help them out with some internal projects. Another good question, can you sign up to volunteer on the website?
Yeah, there's a contact us page on the website. And so you could just fill that out and we'll respond. I'll respond to you. But otherwise, feel free to email me directly or just reach out on LinkedIn too, if you prefer. So yeah, feel free to reach out directly. We have enough mentors and trainers for this spring cohort, but we absolutely need volunteers for our fall cohort that will start in September.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk now about it too. And I'd love to, learn more about you and how you want to help and answer any questions you have about TechFluent.
So Molly asked a good question. What are you looking for from a volunteer? What is the commitment level?
Sure. So for mentors, the expectation is that you show up to our mentor onboarding session. The kickoff call is optional, but we love to have our mentors there. And then it's 1 hour per week for the duration of the program. So for this cohort, graduation's at the end of August. So it's 1 hour per week from March 21st to August 31st. And that can be any type of communication. So email, phone call, video call, that's up to the mentor mentee, what that method of communication looks like. And then, how you want to kind of split that up. Like if you want to do a half-hour meeting and then a half-hour miscellaneous communication, like that works too. And the scheduling is totally up to the mentor and mentee. We have volunteers, mentors from all over the world. So if you can make the time zone difference work, like we're totally welcome. You don't have to be in the US to mentor or train. And like I said, our learners are spread across the entire US. For trainers, it really would depend on if we have the content created for the session or not. So because this is our first cohort, all of our trainers are creating content that's specific for TechFluent and our learners and our audience. So content creation may or may not be part of that. If you're part of the next cohort, we probably will have something existing for you to use. And so it's really just the prep work and then showing up to lead and train your session. Most of our trainers just take one training session, and the training sessions are either a half day or a full day usually. And then it's just all virtual, all on Teams. And then for all of our training sessions too, we also we'll give you a co-trainer or an assistant trainer to help without, the chat, the breakout rooms, if anyone gets stuck. And so we realize that, when you have that many learners in a group, that it's nice to have multiple trainers there.
Mm-hmm. Here's a good question that has come up before. Our company is located in Canada. Can internships cross borders remotely?
That is a good question. It would really depend on if your organization is able to hire someone from the US. So if you're set up to do that, then yes. But if you're not, we don't have any learners in Canada, so then probably not.
Yeah, I would say ideally in a future state, we might be able to expand or have people in our cohort that are in Canada or possibly in other countries, but everybody's US based. So
for now,
but they'll all be able to do things remotely. So as long as you can hire somebody in the US and support that remote engagement, then that should work. Mm-hmm. Work all right. Any other questions? I'm just looking through the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. I see a bunch of shamrocks. Obviously, you've noticed that.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Seemed like the appropriate thing to do. All right. Our Canadian friend will investigate, and our volunteer interested person said that you will hear from her. So that's great. Here's a question. How is TechFluent funded?
Yeah, so we are waiting for our 501c3, and I've heard it can take a while just because the government's kind of backed up. So we're seeking fiscal sponsorship, and we're going to hear back in April on whether or not we have that. So for now, we are operating on basically no funding because we haven't fundraised yet and things aren't deductible. So everything has been volunteer time or donated. So everything we're using, like the equipment that we're providing for our learners that need equipment, those have all been donated. And then again, absolutely every single person involved in this is doing this as volunteer work. We do plan to fundraise. So you saw the donate now. So please donate if you want to help, in a financial way and not with a time way. And that will help us cover our costs on an ongoing basis. So we want the program to be free for our learners, and we want the program to be free for the partners or the employers, anyone that's employing one of our graduates. And we, again, provide equipment for our learners if they need equipment, so laptops, monitors, things like that. We also cover the cost of 2 certifications. So a requirement is that they have 2 certifications in order to graduate, and we want there to be the potential for up to 2 tries per cert for that. And so, looking for ways to cover those sorts of costs as well. But right now, again, it's really just minimal funding from the board to just kind of get us through this first month, and then all volunteer time. But please donate if you want to help. And that's that page is on our website.
Yep. The short answer there is we're funded by you.
Yes. Yes. And of course, we'll go after grants and all of that once we can. I'd say follow us on social media. We have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. And we're going to be posting some videos and just content over the next few weeks. So I'd say follow us on social so that you see updates and can kind of just stay up to date with what's happening with the program. So even if you don't want to help or volunteer right now, that would be the best way for you to kind of know what's going on in the future. And then also spread the word. So if you know anyone that would be interested in helping in any way, just pass the message on to them. Send them our website or one of our social media accounts. So those would be my 2 asks. How about you, Merlin? Anything you want to add?
No, I think that's because we sort of have our spring cohort kind of set and ready to go. I think our immediate needs, at least immediate needs, are covered. But
except for the donations.
Except for the donations. I do think, though, it will be important and useful for people to sort of keep up with us over time so that when we're ready to launch the next cohort, ideally towards the second half of this year, and then more in the future, that people can remain up to date and plugged in. Just doing a final check for questions. Thank you, Marie, for your kind words. I'm glad that you'll share with other organizations. So feel free to spread the word, folks. And unless there's anything else, I think we can probably wrap it up there.